Earlier, we were seeing, maybe we'll see the picture again. We were seeing the picture of the APC, the APC candidate in Akwa Ibom State. That was in the person of Mr. Akan Udofia, but that picture went away. Meanwhile, Demola Lawrence is standing by to give us a report from his location. Demola, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Yori. It's been an interesting one here in Akwa Ibom State. Of course, the election materials left the different polling units as at 7:30 at the different polling unit to the different polling unit. Right now, I'm actually at Akwa Ibom, where one of the candidates, of course, vying for this particular position, for the governorship position, is actually just finished casting his vote here in Akwa Ibom. So it's been an interesting one to see that people are actually out, trying to perform their civic duty at a different polling center. So I'm going to be talking to him now. Thank you very much. You just finished casting your vote. Tell me, how was the process for you?
In my unit here, it was okay. It was well above average, I must say. INEC they've delivered here thus far. I pray that it stays that way till the end.
So, tell me some of the things that you have heard from your people around. How has the voting been in all around Akwa Ibom State?
There's definitely increased violence this time around. Maybe because it's a closer election. When I mean closer to the grassroots, considering the House of Assembly. And this election is particular to Akwa Ibom State. The earlier election was presidential and national, so the interest is not as high as it is now. I'm very disappointed, I must say, in the conduct of the government and their agents. Vote intimidation, harassment, and totally disregard for human life and property. Totally unacceptable. And we have several videos that at the appropriate time the whole world will see, perpetrated at the very highest level of this PDP government.
Where exactly, can you just know some of the areas that you've heard that this violence happened? Where exactly have you heard that?
The Secretary to the in Odoroko and Ebugu, the Secretary to the government, went there physically, and I have videos. At least I have a 2-minute video where he went there to disrupt elections and carried materials from there. He went with a retinue of security men, police armed. And this is not even his polling unit, talk less of his jurisdiction or where he comes from. And the same thing here in Assam. The sitting local government chairman's constituency, his polling unit, his ward, nothing but violence. Absolute madness and mayhem going there. The security agencies are aware.
His hometown of Agulo, if I'm saying that right, in Anambra State. And but we were with Demola Lawrence before we cut across to Anambra State. Demola is in River State, I believe. So Demola, we interrupted you earlier. Please continue. Akwa Ibom, I beg your pardon.
Yes, okay, I'm actually in Akwa Ibom. So before I let one of the governorship candidates left, Akan Udofia, I asked him that he alleged that some videos have surfaced where violence have actually occurred in Akwa Ibom State. Some people have being vandalized, and of course things are already happening. So I asked him, these places that he mentioned, that he's talking about, are they like strongholds or to him, or they are like just a general place? And he said they are strongholds for him. And of course, but that's not even the main crux of the story. That the main crux of the story is the fact that people are supposed to come out, perform their civic duty, irrespective of the party they want to vote for, irrespective of who the candidate is. They should just come out and perform their duty instead of people trying to vandalize and of course cause mayhem around the city. And so, but like I told him, I said I have monitored from places that I have monitored today. It's quite different from the story that he told me. This morning, while I was in Uyo City, precisely, Yes, the election started pretty early. Election material got to polling units pretty early, but of course, what the challenge is that they didn't start the election on time. It was not the same for different areas, but it's been an interesting one to see that election in Akwa Ibom State, according to him, is began to turn to something else that he thinks that it shouldn't have happened in the first place. He's alleging that violence has started erupting in some areas in Akwa Ibom State.
You haven't been able to authenticate that, as we always like to do, right?
No, I've not been able to authenticate that.
And to the general charge about voting started late, what can you tell us about that in the venues that you are familiar with?
Okay, so why the voting started late in some polling units? First of all, it was because of logistics challenge. Yes, it has improved a bit, but it looks as if still the same issue. Like I visited polling unit 12 in Uyo, Oban, Ward 1. It was one of the things that I was told by the INEC official was the fact that they got there late. The logistics was the issue, and when they now got there, the political party agents were telling them that they should bring out the ballot paper one after the order that they want to see it. And that also takes a lot of time. And that particular polling unit has over 3,000 registered voters. So it takes a lot of time. So that was particular to that particular polling unit. And another polling unit that I visited, the INEC ad hoc staff were not there as at the time. That was Holy Christ Covenant Primary School here in Huyo. They were not there as at the time, and that was like past 9. They were not there. So it's just in pockets of places where the election started late. But as at past 9, they started coming out, and people were already at the queue to make sure that they cast their votes.